Before we start with My Sister's Keeper, let's get to know a bit about the author of this book. She is one of the best-selling American writer of 25 novels including My Sister's Keeper, in which we will discuss about it later. 19 Minutes, The Storyteller, Leaving Time, Small Great Things and her latest book, A Spark of Light. She is also famous with her writing that tackle critical issues.
Best-selling author Jodi Picoult has never shied away, thank you guys, from controversial topics for inspiration. She has written 26 works in 24 years. Some tackle serious subjects like cancer, sexual abuse, and the Holocaust. Her newest thought-provoking novel...
The books that you write tend to be really issue-based, and you've written about stem cell research, date rape, teenage suicide pacts. Why?
Because I tend to write about the things that keep me up at night. I think that my books feel very timely because people worry about the exact same things that I worry about.
Last but not least fact about her is that she went to Harvard and Princeton University.
So you started writing, did you go to college to be a writer?
Yeah, I did. I actually went to Princeton. I went there because they had an undergrad creative writing program. I studied with some great authors, and you know, that's probably the only reason I'm here today, honestly.
Well, I don't know about that, but it's...
Okay, let's go back to My Sister's Keeper, one of her famous novel that have been made into a film released from New Line Cinema, directed by Nick Cassavetes and starring Cameron Diaz. My Sister's Keeper is a story of Anna and her older sister, Kate. Anna is a healthy teenager, but she lives with the knowledge that her very existence is tied to her sister's leukemia. Anna was conceived and genetically selected to be a perfect match for Kate. By the time Anna's in her teens, she undergone countless surgeries and transfusions so she can help prolong Kate's life. But when her parents demand she give a kidney to Kate, Anna refuses and tries to have herself emancipated. My Sister's Keeper is a story of how far conflict between family can be by presenting legal, ethical and personal dilemmas with impressive impact. Of course, there are people who gave their reviews and opinions the differences between the book and the movie. For example, I agree that they focused too much on Kate, but they did that because of the different ending, and that was the change I was really upset with. But to change the ending like that, when that's such a powerful message about the fleetingness of everyone's life, that's overlooking the most important theme of the book. The book is simply better. Better character development. Jessie is a more interesting troubled character, Julia Romano is a good character, but I think they removed her because they didn't want a love story in the film. I loved the book. I cried my eyes out. I have not seen the film, but would like to. Just as an avid reader I always prefer the book Laughing Face. I just wonder how they could actually get all of that emotion into such a short time frame. The ending literally knocked me over. I liked the book and movie both, but unlike some of the comments on here, I liked the ending of the movie better. I found it far more realistic that Anna magically becoming an available donor and Kate's getting better. I thought this was going to be interesting and enjoyed it to the end, where the ending just basically fell apart for me. I was thinking it was a great ethical story about the child wanting to have the right to say yes on her own versus the actual ending. And, more comments. Okay, before you get more confused with the story, let's take a look at the characters. According to the book, the main characters in My Sister's Keeper are Fitzgerald family. Brian is the father, Sarah is the mother, Jessie is their oldest children, Kate is the middle one, her cancer is the center of the story, and Anna is the youngest and also protagonist in the novel. And also other characters like Dr. Chance, Kate's oncologist. Campbell Alexander, Anna's lawyer. Judge, the dog, Campbell's service dog. Julia Romano, guardian to Anna and Campbell's past girlfriend. Izzy Romano, Julia's twin sister and roommate. Judge DeSalvo, the judge appointed to Anna's case. Taylor Ambrose, Kate's crush and fellow cancer patient, and Zane, Sarah's older sister. Obviously, the movie does not portray all characters just like the book. But that's not the main issue here, okay, although they did change the ending of the story in the movie. In the novel, Jodi Picoult made Anna died in an accident and her lawyer, Campbell, gave permission to donate her kidney and let Kate live. But in the movie, it's the other way around. They show that Kate is the one who wants to die and make a deal with Anna so that Anna can get medically emancipated, and Kate died, in peace. Unlike any other cancer stories, Jodi Picoult gave realistic touch in this fiction by portraying family conflicts and dilemmas. The actions taken by the parents in a desperate situation can be brutal and ethically wrong, especially that's the only solution that the doctor gave.
I'd like to suggest something completely off the record. Many times one sibling isn't a match, but another is. Have you considered having another child? Not to be forward, but Umbilical blood can be an incredibly effective tool in treating leukemic patients. It's like a miracle.
How would you know that the new child would be a match?
We could make sure of it.
In a test tube?
Yes, with pre-implantation genetic diagnosis, it would be a 100% match.
A donor child?
It's not for everybody. And legally, I can't even officially recommend it. But like I said, cord blood would be invaluable.
Well, we gotta do it. We gotta try.
As you can see, when the doctor suggests them if they had another child and the chances of the child being compatible as a donor to Kate were high. Sarah did not think long to make a decision and told Brian to have another child. Here, I find that the decision is already unfair not just to Anna, but even to any human being. This also portray the ethical and legal issues. One more thing that is unfair, when the parents concern their sick child more than the other. Although other children are healthy, but they also need attentions. In this story, Sarah is obviously focused more on Kate than Anna and Jesse. Somehow, Brian is being considerate and realize other children also have value on their own. In contrast with A Walk to Remember by Nicholas Sparks, this story is less tension and drama and focus on the sweet and touching romance. It is about a girl, named Jamie, who is worried that she will break Landon's heart by falling in love with her, because she is dying of cancer although, she is in love with him too.
I'm sick.
I'll take you home. You'll be better tomorrow.
No, Landon. I'm sick. I have leukemia.
No.
The story did not stress on the father's character as he can accept the truth that Jamie is sick and will die eventually. So he loves her daughter just the way she is and cherish good moments. He does feel sad about it, but his character, as we can see, he is more calm and accepting. But since this story was inspired by Nicholas Sparks's sister, a girl who had cancer and there was a man who loves her and marry her before she died. This story is also realistic fiction but in a different touch that focus more on the love story in which, it is also very common among cancer stories. Another example of cancer story is by John Green, The Fault in Our Stars, that have been made into film too. It is about Hazel, who has cancer since she was a child and try to find meaning in her life but somehow she met Augustus and fall in love. However, this story doesn't successfully portray a realistic view of cancer patients just like Jodi Picoult did. Well, there are many other novels and movies that tell us about cancer patients in different ways. For example, Now is Good. Me and Earl and the Dying Girl. 50-50, All We Need Is Love. The Bucket List. Miss You Already. And the latest, on Netflix, Irreplaceable You. Usually, when we first hear of the word cancer, especially when one of our family member or even us, ourselves diagnosed with cancer, I believe we all get those similar feelings and thoughts. Firstly, we would already imagine that we're gonna die soon. Second, we think of how much time we have left in this world to spend with our beloved ones. Third, we must think of solutions, getting treatments to stay healthy as possible and hoping that doctor can save us. Fourth, we don't want to hurt anyone around by making them feel sad of losing us one day. And lastly, do all the things that we want for the last time. Indeed, there were many novels and movies that are good in portraying what it's like to be a cancer patient and what does it feel to lose a person that you love. But it is very interesting how Jodi Picoult can create the storyline in My Sister's Keeper, of having an unwilling donor by stressing out the moral of helping the sister. It is very unfair from many aspects and angles. A donor should be mature enough to understand the situation and willingly to donate his or her organ out of many reasons. As human beings, no one likes to be forced in doing something that we don't like, especially when we can see the consequences of it. But we can't deny one thing that is quite a cliché in My Sister's Keeper, of having the love story between Kate and Taylor. Yes, it is not wrong, because all human beings are capable of and have the right to love. And we can't deny love is the most favorite topic around the world. Just like how people love to watch how sweet Landon treats Jamie, especially after he knows Jamie has leukemia, he doesn't leave her but he marries her instead, and how passionate love going on between Hazel and Augustus because they understand each other and create chemistry. But somehow I think I would like to see if Kate has a friendship with girls in that hospital instead of flirting with a boy who got cancer too. But that character doesn't exist in the book. One guess Jodi Picoult tries to show that Kate always has been to the hospital since she was a kid and got no time to make friends. This novel also does not focus on main narrator, but it goes through angles and perspective from each character in the novel so that we can understand deeper other characters as well. It can be confusing to read at first, because in one page, the narrator and setting can be changed within the paragraph. It is highly recommended for adult to read it because some parts of the novel can be philosophical. Lastly, Jodi Picoult also stressed about awareness of cancer. In her book, she explained in details about cancer itself, the process that the patients have to go through and even the emotional struggle that the patients and people around them facing. She successfully portrayed the conflict and the struggle that the patients having and managed to capture the reader's attention and play with the emotions. To compare both novel and movie, many people like the novel better. But I guess that depends on individual perspective and personal taste. Both novel and movie did portray the main issue of the story, in which can be relatable to some people and gain our awareness and empathy towards cancer issue.